this is for the whole world interest. This is a terrorist government. This government is putting the whole world in jeopardy. So this is not only for Iranian people what you're doing, or what we are asking you to do is for the whole world.
It's very powerful. And I'm very proud of the community and the organizers. There's some people who have been working really hard on this. Volunteer security, volunteer cleaning crews, to help clean up afterwards. I mean, that's our community at its best.
This government has no mercy. This government is fighting for its life. But that day, when I saw that video, I lost it, and I just wanted to
the Seper video, something. Right? It was the Seper.
The Seper Baba, yeah.
Hi there, this is episode 412 of Roqe. Feel the power when Iranians unite. For a global community often caricatured as divided, argumentative, and incapable of working together, Iranians around the world are shattering that stereotype right now. You can feel it. You can feel the power when Iranians unite. This past weekend, across cities and continents and time zones, something profound happened. Not just massive demonstrations, not just unprecedented numbers, but alignment. One flag, one transitional figure. Remember, Iran is one of the most populous nations on earth, and beyond those borders, a diaspora in the millions. And let's not forget the formidable nature of what that means. A diaspora that is educated, upwardly mobile, economically influential, culturally present, and now politically awake. When that many people begin to move in the same direction, feel the power when Iranians unite. We've seen flashes of this before, moments of hope, moments of activation. Women, life, freedom moved the world beyond reservation, but it also revealed something painful. A diaspora that cared deeply but often pulled itself apart over symbols and leadership and mistrust. This time feels different, not because there are no disagreements, there are, not because social media is suddenly kind, it isn't, but because something essential has shifted. There is growing unity around shared symbols and identity. Feel the power. There is unity around the lion and sun, the Shir Khorshid, a flag that hugely dominated demonstrations across the world in the last 2 days. There is unity around a clear de facto reality that Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi has emerged as the leader of a transition, not because he was appointed, but because millions inside Iran and across the diaspora are chanting the same name. That matters, because unity amplifies the voices of those inside Iran and turns isolated bravery into collective force. It makes it harder for Western governments to pretend they don't know what Iranians want. It raises the political cost of indifference. A united diaspora doesn't just protest, it pressures. It influences media, markets, culture, policy. Feel the power when Iranians unite. This isn't just symbolic, it's strategic. And that's why the announcement of a global day of action on February 14th matters so much. Momentum only works if it's sustained. Unity only works if it's protected. And history only bends when pressure is applied again and again and again. This is not the end of the road, but it may finally be the moment when Iranians everywhere realize what we are capable of together. So wherever we are, inside Iran, risking everything, or outside of Iran with a microphone, a flag, or a megaphone, desperately hoping to help, remember this: division has always been the regime's greatest weapon. It's February 2, 2026. This is Roqe. Hi there, welcome to episode 412 of Roqe. Iran Rises. I'm Jian Ghomeshi. Hello to you from Toronto, Canada. Salam Dustan Aziz, Duru Bar Shoma. Hope you're doing okay wherever you are tuning in from around the world. This is the 9th episode in our Iran Rises series, this one entitled Feel the Power When Iranians Unite. And once again, events inside Iran and around the Iranian diaspora are moving at this crazy speed. So we should note that we are recording this episode at approximately 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in Toronto on this Monday, February 2nd. That's around midnight in Iran. And as always, we're sharing perspectives and a conversation that's as up-to-date as humanly possible. Coming up on this episode, a conversation with someone who brings rare, long vision to this moment. Joining us from Los Angeles is Homa Sarshar, a revered Iranian-American journalist who has witnessed Iran's modern history from the inside, from exile, and now from a critical distance. I want to talk to her about what feels different this time, the unity we're seeing in a mobilized diaspora, the role of Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, the ongoing silence or indifference or disinformation of Western media, and what real pressure on this regime could actually look like. So, let's get to it. This episode of Roqe is brought to you with the support of Avoca Chocolates. Let me tell you how grateful we are that this small, non-Iranian company in Toronto has stepped up to support Iranians in this time and are making free Iran chocolates to be sold for no profit. Avoca has been making handmade artisanal chocolate in Toronto for over 30 years. Family owned and operated, they have dedicated themselves to the art of making delicious treats, including truffles, ice cream, and gelato. Made without compromise, Avoca has focused on high quality ingredients with fair trade chocolate, all made fresh daily in one of their 2 locations in East Toronto. These chocolates satisfy your sweet cravings while loving you back, providing that indulgence and nourishment can exist in the same delicious bite. You can find out more about them at avocachocolates.com. avocachocolates.com. Thank you again to Avoca for your support of the Iranian people and your support of Roqe Media. All right, let me get to my guest today, who is one of the most decorated and influential Iranian-American journalists of the last half century, as well as being an author, a philanthropist, and an activist. She reported from inside Iran before the 1979 revolution, from 1964 to 1978. She worked as a correspondent, a reporter, and columnist for Zan-e-Rouz weekly magazine and Kayhan daily newspaper in Iran. During that period, she also worked as a television producer, a director, and talk show host for national Iranian radio and television. She then went on to build a distinguished career in exile, including decades of work with various Persian publications and major Iranian-American media institutions. She is a recipient of numerous journalism and community leadership awards for her lifelong commitment to press freedom, women's voices, and Iranian cultural preservation. She may have stepped back from daily journalism, but Homa Sarshar occupies a rare position, not just as a witness to history, but as a moral and intellectual reference point for a diaspora once again facing an inflection moment. Homa Sarshar joins me from Los Angeles today. Hello.
Hello, good morning, good day, Jian, and thank you very much for inviting me to your show.
As ever, it's always a pleasure and an honor to have you on the program. Thank you for making the time to do this. You have watched throughout your life and throughout your career so many crises, particularly in the last 47 years, of course, with respect to the Islamic Republic and with respect to Iran. You've seen them come and go, protests, crackdowns, reformist hopes, etc. Do you believe this time is fundamentally different, and what makes it different?
Definitely, this time is very different than other time. This is the 10th time that I'm witnessing since the revolution, and different happenings and different uprising and demonstration has been going on. And every single time I was there, I was witnessing, I was reporting, I was talking, I was doing interviews. This time, as I'm retired, I'm just witnessing and I'm writing. And I'm just giving my 2 cents every time that is needed. But this time is really totally different. This is the magnitude of all 9 past ones together. And when you see, I was very excited when the Zanzandagi Azadi demonstration happened 3 years ago. And for me, that was also a turning point. This was the first step, or the few steps that have been taken, but the most strong one after the past ones that united all the people under one slogan and all over the world. And we witnessed Berlin, we witnessed Toronto, we witnessed Los Angeles, and the people coming together to help and to support Iranian women in their struggle for freedom and for basic human rights that they have. But this time is bigger than that, and I think all this that happened in the past 47 years got together and became together to bring this time demonstration and this time revolution, which is the national revolution happening, starting with Iranian people. And the big difference of this time is this happened starting from Bazaar. And as you know, traditionally, Bazaris, the people that live in Bazars, they have a big saying. They had also a saying at the Islamic Republic Revolution. And this time also, this is the first time that they started the movement, they started the demonstration, and people follow them. And this means a lot. This has a big meaning, which shows that these people that normally are very, very traditional, very, I can say religious, and also not too harsh, but people that have saying always on the financial situation of the country. But this time they came and they talk about the situation of the country, the worsening situation of the country, financially and otherwise. So for me, this was a good sign that the uprising is going to be big, and it has been big. It has been I cannot compare it to a previous one, to any of the previous ones. And also the magnitude of the killings that happened, this is unbelievable. This is something that for the first time in the history of human beings, killing so many young people in the street just for protesting very peacefully and asking for their rights. And the reaction that the government of Islamic Republic showed to people by killing them straight on their face and doing just this mass killings and this violent and barbaric reaction to the Iranian people has made this demonstration almost unparalleled.
There's I want to get to the massacre, the killing, but just when you're talking about the Bazaris, it's interesting, just on the face of it, to think for anyone who's making the case that this revolution is somehow ebbing, or that it's going to go away. You think about the conditions that brought those people out a month ago. It's not like anything's gotten better. It's just gotten 10 times worse. So in terms of the regime trying to beyond its iron-fisted, evil massacring of people wantonly, in terms of the regime being able to contain anything, I think about those folks, those tradespeople, those merchants, those bazaris, who aren't the prototypical activists in Iran who came out, and nothing good has happened over the last month that would suggest that their hearts, their minds, their passion is dimmed. It's just, if anything, a delay, right?
Mm. Yeah, you're right. People are in the house. People are just talking. People are talking with each other. People are giving or shouting slogans from the windows outside because this government has no mercy. This government is fighting for its life, and it shows that they are just scared from the people, and the way that they react to this feeling that they have is to kill other people and make them kill them as many as they can to make them silence. But this has not happened. This has not happened. They have made people more angry, angrier and angrier every single day, and they have to face all the people that they have lost their kids, they have lost their families, one of members of the families, and they need to come to their mind, if they have any, that this is not going to last. They cannot kill all 90 million people in Iran to be on the power.
Yeah, one almost thinks they're going to try. Homa, when I think about you, I think about the fact that you really are one of our great journalists in the Iranian space that has been there for many years, doing your work. And I say that with, I think about how measured you are. From what I know of you personally, but also in terms of your journalistic work, you have consistently had the sort of balanced tone and delivery of a journalist, and that's perhaps why it was somewhat startling to see your post from a week ago, where you were very emotional, and you allowed your people to see that. You were crying, and you were on video, and it went viral. And you said, "How is this possible?" You said, "I cannot even breathe. Die already, Khamenei." Tell me about that, because I think that's not something that you've often done in terms of your career or work, but it suggests the impact and import of the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Let me tell you something, Jian. My husband passed away 7 months ago. He was 92 years old. He was sick. He was fighting dementia and also cancer of lymphatic cancer. When he died, I didn't cry because I think he had a good life. He lived his life. He was surrounded by his family. I was with him there for the last 3 years of his life, and it was the time for him to go. And you're right. I'm the person that keep my emotion for myself. But that day, when I saw that video, I lost it. And I just wanted to
The Seper
say
video,
something.
right? It was the Seper video.
Seper Baba, yeah. And I couldn't take my cell phone from myself, not to record anything, and I didn't have too long to battle myself and to tell myself, just get calm, stay calm, don't do this, don't do this. You're normally very contained, and you have your face, you don't cry, you don't laugh too much, you're always the same sentiment and the same face that you have. But that day, it just the video, that 12-minute video did it. And every single day after that, when I remember the day that I saw it for the first time, this sentiment comes back to me. And I said, I must tell my people, my Iranian people, my listeners, my followers, or whatever, whoever, that I'm with them. I feel it to my heart. And something that also was very strongly arised this sentiment is my son's name is Seper. And that was it. And one of my sons told me, Mom, why are you crying so much? You didn't cry for that. I said, this is totally different. This isn't comparable. What's going on? These are young people dying. These are people that have many, many years and decades in front of them, lives, and they are full of hope. They were full of hope. They wanted to do something for their country, and they have been killed. They didn't die from sickness. They didn't die from being old. This is different, and this is something that I never thought that's going to happen to Iranian people. There were instances in Mahsa revolution and on different kind of demonstration that they have when they just shoot that airplane. Every single act that the Islamic Republic did it is inhuman.
Yeah.
But this was topping everything, and I uh, I just share it, and I just came out of my I don't know, out of my corner to just be with the Iranian people, be with my people, and tell them that how sorry we are, how devastated we are, and how we have heartache, and we cannot explain why, but we are with them, and I hope that this never happen again. I don't see that one more time. This is too much. This is too much to bear.
Given the epic nature of it, of just how shockingly, unbelievably, unprecedentedly horrible it is. Something that's been shocking for a lot of Iranians has been, although perhaps not surprising for everybody, but has been the relative silence or indifference of the Western media, mainstream media, or the diminishing aspect of sort of playing things down that many people perceive. A lot of people have theories on this. From inside journalism yourself, why do you think that is happening?
I think in the United States, because we're living here in the United States, I cannot talk about Europe. I cannot talk about Canada. Maybe are the same or not. But the reason that I say this in the United States is because this country has been divided. This country has been divided in two very, very strong uh, beliefs, very left and very right. And now the journalism in the United States has been also following people, and that's very unfortunate. I miss the journalism that I was witnessing, and I learned from them when I came to the United States after the revolution. There was they were journalists that would act as a tape recorder, act um, uh, as a
Witness to history.
no, دوربین چی میگن دوربین
Camera.
sorry, camera. Okay, there were journalists who would act as a tape recorder or as a camera, and they would give you the reality. There would a few of them that would do analysis, but right now journalism has totally changed. They give you day in and day out 24/7 their idea or their preference instead of reporting the news. So now we have CNN opposed to Fox News. CNN reports something that is in their interest. Fox report what is in their interest, and this is something that I really, really am. I must say that I'm ashamed of as a journalist to see this happening in the United States, and I miss the real journalism. All this Walter Cronkite, I don't know, this kind of journalists that I learned journalism in the United States from them when I came here. So maybe this is the way, or this is the wave that is going all around the whole world
But
right
but
now.
but but why would it be in American media's interest to minimize an horrific massacre in Iran? Is it because when you suggest the country is so polarized that they want to feed their audience what the audience wants to hear, and the audience doesn't want to hear about what's happening in Iran and there being a movement against the Islamic Republic?
I think that they are mostly concentrated in internal problems and internal. For example, they just spent 2 hours, 3 hours about the raid of ICE has done in Minnesota,
Yeah.
which is right. They
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
cover it. They should do it, but they don't have any. They don't have any sentiment. They don't have any interest for what is happening in the whole world. We are living in as we learned when I was at the School of Journalism that we are living in a backyard of the world. The world is the backyard of us, and so we should be in pain when in another part of the world people are suffering under the dictatorship. We should be happy for the countries that have democracy. We should respect their rights. We should just be happy also if my country, in the country that you're living, everything is okay. And if not, you should talk about it and you should report it. But I believe they're just very self-centered right now.
But the funny thing is,
journalists.
it's what makes it even more conspicuous is that it's not just about something that's happening over there. I mean, it's happening here too. Yesterday there were 80,000 people in your city, in Los Angeles, in the streets, or maybe more, or I don't. I'm assuming that's not on the cover of the Los Angeles Times today. You know, what might be on the cover is the Grammy Awards where there was no mention of Iran. There was a lot of mention of ICE, but right. So I mean, it becomes conspicuous, right?
This happens also. Let me also go to another part of this problem that has happened when we were in the street. When the prior demonstration, right now I'm getting old. I cannot stand on my feet. I have lower back pain and all this, and I cannot actively work and go and to be on the demonstration. But we have been very adamant prior to the demonstration to call different channels, TV channels and radio channels, and ask them to send somebody. We have been doing this. There is a part and there is a responsibility from our part too. I think right now people are so angry and they're so busy with putting the demonstration together that they underestimate the role that they can have by contacting all the media in their city, in their country, the main medias, or even the local ones, and ask them to send somebody. If you ask them, if you're constantly in touch with them, the group of people that are in touch with them, and ask them to cover that, they will be successful to do it. And I believe this time, I don't think people are too much arguing with each other about who wants a monarchy, who doesn't want monarchy, and they're fighting with each other, that they forget that we have a bigger responsibility to let the media cover this demonstration and talk about Iran and talk about what's going on in Iran.
I do think that I spoke about this in my opening essay on this episode, and I do think that I believe we're witnessing a more unified diaspora overall. Not that there isn't the divisions that, to a certain extent, we've always seen, and there's the carping in social media between different actors on different sides, so to speak. But some of which is fueled by the regime, trafficking and trying to create disunity through bots, etc. But something that's really kind of unquestionable. At this point, I mean, certainly here in Toronto, I was out there yesterday, and whether it's 100,000 or 150,000, that was a massive crowd. That was probably 1/3 of all Iranians who were in the Southern Ontario, Greater Toronto area were out on the street yesterday in Toronto downtown. And frankly, most of them were carrying the Shir Khorshid, the Lion and Sun flag. And there seems to be relative unity, at least with this audience, and from what I've seen in the Munich and LA and Vancouver, a consensus around Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi will be the option to carry this in terms of overseeing a transition away from this regime. So is that happening because, do you believe that signals maturity on the part of our diaspora or urgency?
Both. Actually, both. Urgency is number one, but second, I think the second point that you brought up also is, for the first time, I believe that the follower or the opposition that is monarchist, and they want Reza Pahlavi as the king, and they want him to go back, and they're following him, and they want him. They are listening to their leader. I have been listening to Reza Pahlavi, Shahzad Reza Pahlavi, the Prince Reza Pahlavi, always listened to him. And he always was asking his people to accept other people if they are not monarchists, if they are pro Republican, or they want a Republican leader in Iran after the revolution, this revolution that happened, that is happening right now. Before that, they wouldn't accept. They would argue with him. They would argue with him that no, if you don't fight with them, they will just take over, and argument like this, that is nonsense. But this time, I believe that he has passed his message across. Not 100%, but very visibly, importantly happening. So you're right. I see that also in different demonstrations. But let me give you a big credit to your city, Toronto. This demonstration that was happening in Toronto during past years, also for Mahsa, for other demonstration, is totally different from the whole world. And Los Angeles also is totally different, because always there's fight going on, and there's people not agreeing with each other. And this has been going on for 47 years. We have been, as a Los Angelinos, we're used to see these scenes that the two group of people are fighting with each other in the demonstration, on the floor, on the grass of federal building. But this time looked to me also that was different. And I hope that it will go more and more, and people will get together right now for one goal that they have, and that's to overthrow this regime and get together. And then, as we are hearing, this is going to be a transitional leader of transition, and then after that we will decide on who's going to do what, which regime will be up for after the referendum and all this. So let's hope for this trajectory that is going the right way.
I will use the opportunity of you complimenting Toronto to amplify that. Not that I can take any credit for it. I'm just another person who's saying, "Come on out, everybody!" And I'm walking like everybody else there. But having been involved in these demonstrations in Toronto for years, there were certain expectations. I was on stage during the Green Movement. The whole world is watching was our chant at that point, believing that if the world is watching, that it would support us. That's not always true, as we've learned. But there was always an expectation that you're going to see a bunch of different placards. You're going to see a bunch of different groups. There's the communists. There's the mujahids. There's this group, and they were kind of all walking side by side and arguing with each other, etc. I can really tell you that if I were to write the story of yesterday from inside the community, I mean, if I were to write it in the Toronto Star, I would say, look at this demonstration, listen to these people. But if I was to do it from within the community, I would say it was really quite remarkable that. And maybe it is that people are listening to a message. Maybe it's that if they don't, love Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, they're not saying it, But there's over 100,000 people. It was peaceful. It was enthusiastic. They were all carrying the same flag, and there was the Shir Khorshid flag, and there was the Canadian flag, which was also interesting. You don't see that as demonstrations as much from other groups. And that was, and there was no incidents. There was no, nobody attacked a store. There was no, and it's very powerful. And I'm very proud of the community and the organizers. There's some people who have been working really hard on this. Volunteer security, volunteer cleaning crews, to help clean up afterwards. I mean, that's our community at its best. And honestly, that's not something, we were euphoric during Zanzandagi Azadi because we were just seeing all these other Iranians coming out in the numbers we had never seen before. But this type of community collective action was not happening, and there were competing signs, and there was a lot of different stuff that was more reminiscent of the past. So forgive me, this is about interviewing you, but I wanted to chime in on that. What you say about Toronto is actually spot on.
Yes, 100%. Let me also bring up another point that I felt it this time. Uh, prior times, prior demonstrations, we're talking always about Ittihad, union. And this time, I believe that we have reached an agreement that it's not for Ittihad, it's for coalition.
Hmm.
We are together with different goal, with different mind, with different beliefs, but we are together to fight this regime. And as opposed to when you said the union of people, then it means that all the people that are believe each other, believe to their goal, believe to their ideal or their uh, people who believe to their party and different parties that they have. So they cannot be united,
Hmm.
but they can become a coalition, togetherness just for bringing this regime down. And this is what I'm seeing right now,
Yeah.
and this gives me a hope that maybe we are reaching a maturity as a group of Iranian diaspora, if I can use that word, but political majority. And this is good. This is good. And I was watching Toronto. I was watching Los Angeles. I was watching different cities in Sweden, in Paris, in London, and it looks that all over, people are together just asking for something, and that is for topple the regime.
There's something else too, which is that there's relative. Absolutely, there's outliers and there's people who don't believe in this, but amongst in the global Iranian diaspora, there seems to be relative consensus overall for a desire for Western intervention, depending on what form that takes, which is also something that is some of these moments seem almost surreal. You know that because the Iranian community, like as you say, like the United States and Canada, has been polarized too. There's people who really don't like Trump in the Iranian community, but who are now on side for this sort of let's all get together and call for action on Iran. Where are you at on Western intervention?
I'm not for Trump, and everybody knows because I have spoken about that for many years. I am against any invasion of a country by another country, especially uh, uh, invasion by war or something. But there is also a part of me that says when people from Iran, inside Iran, are asking for help, they're asking for help, it means that they are fed up and they are helpless and they cannot fight themselves without any help with this regime that is armed, that is has all the power, and people are my people, 90 million people in Iran. Have not. They don't have anything. They're just fighting with their empty hand, and they're asking for help. Who am I to tell them I'm against any invasion? I'm against any other countries to come and help you. They need help. This is a different this is a different kind of situation right now. It has been, we have precedent in the history in during World War II, during the different kind of problem that a nation was facing, that they asked for foreigners, for other countries to come and help them. This time also is the same. They're asking United States, they're asking Europe, they're asking other people, even they're asking Israel to come and help them. So this is different. And I think if this help comes and people, uh, they can they can back up people, they can bring people to their goal to topple this regime. This would be something that they ask for, and this will help them. But are they doing this? Are they listening to Iranian people? Are they helping them, or they're still thinking about their interests? This morning I heard that somebody is going to see Arakchi, Witkov is going to meet Arakchi to negotiate.
Yeah.
Then what is the help that is coming? How can they help with this? People are very, very straightforward, asking that no negotiation with this regime. This regime must go. So if they want, they're asking for their help. It's not to negotiate for the Islamic Republic to be not to have nuclear power. This is not what they want.
Yeah.
Not having nuclear power is one thing that this regime must not have the nuclear power. But this is not what the people they want. People want regime change. And if they are asking for help, they're asking for these countries to help them to topple the regime, to bring this regime down.
The thing that the thing that I try and keep emphasizing too is that it's not a static situation. I think it's already a mistake to treat what happened with the massacre that had its zenith on January 8th and 9th as history, as, oh, this terrible thing happened, now let's decide what the best course is. Because for Iranians, we know it hasn't stopped happening. The killings, the imprisonments, the executions, the pulling people out of hospitals, that hasn't stopped. It's still happening. No. And so
they're executing people. They're executing young people that they have arrested in jails right now. Yes. They're executing them inside jails. So it's not stopped. You're 100% right. It has not stopped.
And so that's the urgency. So when a leader says, I mean, at least we've got them to this point where there's some Western leaders saying we stand with the people of Iran, right? What do you believe actually, what kind of pressure actually works? I mean, do those words, not to be cynical, because we're glad if somebody's saying that, but do those words mean anything?
I think if they come to their mind that what people of Iran are asking, and they're asking what you're doing, if you're helping us, is in Iranian people's interest and in the whole world interest. They should know that if they do this, they have something for themselves. There would be an interest for themselves too. So if he can take this argument across, that this is for the whole world interest. This is a terrorist government. This government is putting the whole world in jeopardy. So this is not only for Iranian people what you're doing, or what we are asking you to do is for the whole world. Then maybe the deaf ears that are not ready to listen would listen more. Maybe the European Union, after announcing the IRGC to be a terrorist organization, maybe that's a step. You know, Jian, these days, my life, like all other Iranians inside or outside Iran, is like being on a roller coaster. We go up, we hear something, we go up, and we hear something else, we just fall down, and again something, and that's a very unfortunate situation. Yeah. This is going to burn us. This is going to burn Iranian people. This is too much to handle. They need an act. They need a solution, and every single day that passes is too much. It's too many killings. Too many people will be killed. More and more people will be killed. So they need act, and they need it now. Postponing it, waiting for it. I don't know, all this politics that I don't understand it, and I hate politics for this. This must be straight. This must be correct. This must be the way that the countries or the Arab countries around Iran and in the Middle East, they would approve it. They should approve it. It should not be any danger for other countries. So people are waiting, and they are just their energy is going down, and they should do something. They should do something, because this is not going to happen. This is not going to continue like this. We can't. not us in Iran, Iranian outside Iran, and most importantly, Iranian inside Iran.
I'm always grateful when you come on this program, and I really appreciate you giving us your perspective. As a final question before I let you go, I often think, I really do think about your story that you once told on our show, and I think you've told it elsewhere, and you've written about the final days in 1978 in Iran. And I have this image where you talk about going to Kayhan and realizing the same people you had been working with had turned on you and had become sort of part of the Islamic Republic Revolution, and therefore had no time for you because you were a woman and because of your religious background, and et cetera, and you had to flee and you ended up in exile. How much do you think about that in days like this, even though it was 50 years ago?
Yeah, actually, I can say that this last month of January, kind of reminded me like a déjà vu, as they said in French, of the same mass hysteria that got people to go for the revolution. And I saw a picture of Khomeini airport that people were fleeing out of Iran after and it reminded me the same exact pictures, or the same exact scene that I witnessed myself when I was fleeing Iran before the revolution with my kids and my husband. And the Mehrabad airport was full of people fleeing out of the country. And I thought, how many times this should happen? How many Iranians should go to exile? Because this country is under this barbaric regime, and people are just want to live their life peacefully, want to live normal life in this country, and is not happening. And every single time there is a demonstration, that there is a killing happening, or something like this national revolution that is happening right now, more and more people flee to exile, and this country will just lose their citizens. And probably this time too, they will lose citizens that are just the most wanted one to build the country again after the revolution that has happened. So, all the brains are coming out of this country, and these are people that the country needs after a democratic regime is in place and wants to reconstruct the country.
Homa Sarshar, once again, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for your sagacity and your passion. Varan merci.
Thank you very much, Jian. And more power to you. Khastan nabashi.
Merci. Khuda hafiz.
Khuda hafiz.
Thank you very much to Homa Sarshar for being on the program today, for her candor and for her perspective. It is invaluable. You can let us know what you think of that conversation or anything else that you think we should be doing here on Roqe at info@roqemedia.com. info@roqemedia.com. You can also comment on any or all of our platforms. We appreciate that. This is full time for Roqe for today. Thank you to the amazing core team who put this show together now twice a week. As part of this Iran Rises series. Sabi Roham, Tina, the photo and video queen, and Super Parisa Sanjurani. Thank you to all three of you guys. Thank you to our extended team as well, Smart Pega and Charming Kimia and Talented on Hita and Methodical Kabe and the Rising Keon. We appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for all of you out there for supporting us and sharing our content. Please do subscribe. If you haven't done so already, you can do so on any or all of our platforms, including Telegram, Apple, Spotify, Castbox, YouTube, Instagram at Roqe Media. You can find me personally on Instagram at Jian Ghomeshi. And as ever, in these difficult but inspiring times, in the immortal words of my Uncle Berhang, Mizun Bashir.